Right. Welcome everybody to this presentation on website energetics. My name is Nora Rose Zimmerman, and I am a brand and website designer. I'm very happy to be here. This is what I love doing. I love connecting with people and I love designing. I have been a graphic designer pretty much all my life, and I been specializing in doing websites for about 8 to 10 years now. I used to work in corporate before with large organizations and for large design studios. And then I slowly transitioned to work on my own and more connected with spiritual, holistic practitioners, coaches, and organizations that are more dedicated to the well-being and health of humans. So with no further ado, I'm going to be sharing my screen. One more thing, actually. I always think, that people come to these presentations because perhaps they already have a website and they're feeling that perhaps it's not quite there. There's something not quite right with the website, or you might be in a position where you are considering having a website. You're a bit maybe confused, don't know where to start. What do I do first? Do I do social media? Those questions that might be happening, or you might be on the brink of commissioning a designer to do your website and you just want to have a bit more clarity, or you're DIYing, which is another option as well. So all of those things, very, very welcome. I hope that I can answer some of those questions that are probably bubbling in the background. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen okay? Just give me a heads up. Thank you. So I've just already said, I'm Nora Rose Zimmerman, and this is what I do. I do branding and websites that reflect the true essence of your vision. So today we're going to be talking about website energetics and activating your online presence. So this is really important because we always think sometimes of a website as something kind of outside of us, but we really need to be activating that thing that is there. We need to be making it the representation of who we are. We can't just kind of dump the information out there in the online world and then think that it's going to do something and it's going to represent us. So your website is the online home of your business. And I know this sounds really obvious, but this is basically how you need to see your website. The website is the home of your business. So in the old days, perhaps what we used to do is we used to welcome people in person when there was none of this online world. They'll come to our office or they'll come to our practice or even a shop, a clinic, and then we'll greet them and say, hello. Then we'll indicate where to put your coat. Then we'll tell them, hey, come through here. Maybe would you like a tea? They would even perhaps fill in a form by hand, right? But all of that now is kind of happening online on the website. So to have that consciousness and that awareness that we are doing all of that work on our website is very important for you as a business owner. Because apart from being a practitioner, you are holding space for people. You're holding space for people when they come to the website. And if you noticed when I said, put your coat here, come through here, would you like a tea? You are guiding, you are instructing, and you're making sure that that person is following all the right steps for them to be comfortable and for them to receive your service. So on your website, you're doing exactly the same. Is this making sense so far? Just give me a heads up. Yes, I can see nodding. Thank you very much. So what you're doing literally on your website is you're replicating the in-person experience that you would be doing if you were doing this in person. Yeah. You welcome and you guide the visitors in the same way you would as if you were in person. So this is like the frame of mind that all websites owners can have to understand how to DIY your website, how to think of the words that you're going to use, even how to create the images. So your website is a holographic matrix of your soul business. So I always say, when we're about to launch a website with a client, I always say, right, is now we are going to kind of beam onto the matrix, onto, you know, the radar of other people that you exist in the online space. Yeah. So it's like we put it in the online space and therefore this business exists in the online space. Yeah. So your website is a business tool because you allow people to buy things, you have transactions on your website, they use your website as a resource for information, all sorts of business activities. And your website also does a lot of your admin if it's well set up. But also it's an energy field. And this is something that I've already mentioned a little bit. I'm kind of mostly the point of this presentation, yeah? It's an energy field where you receive people. I hope you can see my hands. So this is the energy field. It receives people, welcomes them, and you, as a business owner, are holding space already here. Not when you meet them, already on your website, you're holding space. And you are responsible for this interaction already on your website. So your website is a little portal into your world, yeah? It's like people can have a little peek into your world from, you know, just landing on it, from kind of feeling into your energy, yeah? They feel into your energy, they land on the website. And for most of them, this will be the first point of contact with you. It's a little bit like a shop window. And I'd like to invite you to do a little meditation with me if you'd like to perhaps join me, just closing your eyes. And just relaxing in this moment. And just beginning to tune inside of you. And you know what you do. You have something that you offer. And I'd like you to tune into the atmosphere of how you would be welcoming people, that place that welcomes people. This container that welcomes people. And you can use visualization as if you were doing it in person, or it may be just like feelings about the experience of what you want it to be like. What's the felt experience of your online home? Just taking a breath to give it space. And really just anchoring that energy in you. And opening your eyes and coming back to the call. And you're very, very welcome to share any insights or anything that has come up or questions. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, Nora, I felt I envisaged like a room when I was doing that, and the idea of the safe space as you know, somewhere where people felt protected just seemed to come to mind for me.
Safe and protected.
Mm.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Mine was about getting a vibrational match. Like I could see it was almost like the website and people, but like a three-dimensional website, and sort of like me coming to life from it, and people relating to me or what I provide, and feeling that there's some kind of connection there to be able to get what they need. But yeah, connecting with me and what I provide. Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that in a minute. Exactly about that. Anyone else?
I can just a really gentle welcome with love. So the feeling of love permeates the whole welcome. And there was kind of a pinky peach throughout the back of it.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Any more? Okay. So my experience usually, this is something I have done before, and I do it every so often again and again. And I always love to kind of tune in, and the experience of working with me and people coming to my website is always like a temple. I always feel like it's a temple. They come into this space where we go deep together, we journey, we weave the layers of, okay, what is it that they need to communicate? How can we communicate these? How can we intentionally do this with the photos? What are the words that are being birthed through this process? So it feels like a collaboration and a temple. Yeah, it just feels like a temple space. I've actually done it yesterday with a client, and it was really, really lovely. So I'm going to share my screen. So if you want to do this again, and perhaps, you know, these words of mine were a little bit abstract, you can perhaps think of it as a shop window. And imagine yourself, you know, when you are walking and you perhaps are looking for something and you haven't found it yet, or perhaps you're not looking for anything, but this shop window draws you in. There's something like, oh, this is for me. Oh, I'm curious about it. There's a curiosity, there's a pull of the heart. Something happens in that shop window that you as a customer or your customers are pulled in. And when you go in the shop, this shop has been created intentionally. The owner of the shop has arranged things in a way that create a vibrational match to what you are looking for, which is exactly what Smita was saying. So creating all the elements of the shop in a way, as a business owner, in a way that it will just draw in the right people is exactly the job that your website needs to do. And also, your website needs to repel the people that are not aligned, because those people that are not aligned, they're going to be served very well by someone else. So your website works on 3 levels. First is the energetic connection with your visitors, and we talked a little bit about this. Then is the container for your gifts and your teachings. And then it's the practical support for your business. And I'm just going to do a little data collecting right now. And the energetic connection, I'm wondering what kind of work you do that I attracted you to this website. This is a mini experiment. I haven't done this before. So just let me know what you do briefly in the chat, and then we can have a look if, people are aligned between you, if you are aligned with me. I've not met all of you before, just Kevin. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you do, what's your occupation or your job, or what you intend to do. Holistic therapy, energy medicine. Anyone else? I need my glasses. Dog walking. Wonderful. Anything else to do with animals? Healing channel. I do light language healings, activations, and upgrades, plus other therapies. Wow. Soul-based coach and reclaiming priestess. Excellent. Wow. So can you see that there is a little connection between all of you, between, what you do and how you got attracted to my work? So obviously, I'm not going to be doing like market research right now, but there is something about my website. There is something about my wording. There is something about the people that I work with that is a vibration that actually welcomes certain type of people and repels other type of people. And this is what you want to be doing with your website. So for the energetic connection, imagine what happens when a customer lands on your website. Yeah, you can maybe close your eyes if you like and put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, just feel into what it is that is happening for them. I wouldn't make a list of like the pain points, which is more kind of the mind stuff. What I'm asking you to do, and this is something you can do in your own time, is feel into their experience. Feel into what it's kind of bubbling in them. Yeah. I can say from my mind that when people come to me, they need a website. Yeah. Or they need a brand, a logo, or, in the old days, they need a brochure. But usually there's something else. Yeah. Usually there's a longing for expressing themselves truly and authentically, because they have perhaps a website that doesn't represent them. So there's usually other motivations, other kind of threads of stuff that is happening for them. Yeah, even with dog walking, someone might feel really overwhelmed with their dog and they need support. It's not just the dog walking, it's the support, it's the love that you perhaps offer to the dog, that they need a little bit of someone else to do it, not just them. I'm completely guessing here, but what I'm asking you to do is tuning into that extra thing that happens for your clients when they are looking for the stuff on your website. And after that, what is the atmosphere you want to create? Yeah, what brings them here? What brings them to your website? You're very welcome to share in the chat, what brings your clients to your business, what brings them to work with you. So your website is also a structured container. And I love this section of having a website that is a structured container, not just for the client, but also for the owner. Welcome, Heidi. So creative entrepreneurs, people that have creativity within them, they have ideas, they have transmissions, they have teachings, they love perhaps writing, or they love perhaps talking to people, or they always, usually my clients always tend to have lots of things that they do. And I offer this service, and I've trained in this modality, and I have this other thing. And what happens is the website becomes a container for all of those things that you are beaming out, that you are kind of receiving as a transmission. You know, perhaps you've been guided to offer what you offer. Perhaps you used to do another job before. And so all of these needs a container. Yeah, because sometimes you feel really full with all these ideas, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It happens to me as well. Oh, I could offer this, or I could offer that. And then my website tells me, okay, this is where you land services. This is where you land this little story about, I don't know, birthing websites, for example. Yeah. So all of that is helpful for the website owner. So a well-designed website architecture provides a home for the website owner. And it presents clear and useful information. It guides customers with clarity and ease. So the architecture of the website is really important. It's like when you go to a home or to a building or to a place and you get lost, or you don't know your way around, or it's a little bit confusing. The website is the same. And this is the real masculine side of the website. This is the more structured, strategic. It needs to be absolutely easy to navigate. So my customers, when they come to my website, they can find what they need. I'm sure you've been on websites where you want to buy something and you cannot buy the thing. You cannot buy it. You don't know where to buy it because it's like you get a bit lost. Yeah. Or you cannot get to contact the person, or you cannot get your questions answered anywhere. Those websites, they have what I call dead ends. So when you are beginning to think about your website and the website structure at a higher level, think about it as a home where people are going to walk through. Which journeys do I want them to take? Yeah, so on my website, there is almost one action: book a clarity call. I don't sell anything on the website unless they go to my other website, which is the courses. Yeah, the courses are self-study, so people can buy them. But having too many actions for them to take can also be confusing. So rationalizing the calls to action is very important. That's another topic that I won't go into it now, but I've got a video for those that are interested. No problem, Heidi, I just seen your message. So, and also a website offers practical support. You know, your website is a sales tool. It's your admin, like I said before. It magnetizes the right customers, like we were talking a moment ago. You know, you create this vibration that attracts a certain type of people, and it repels the people that are not aligned with that vibration, that atmosphere, that thing that you do. And tuning into that thing that you do is the most important thing. It pre-qualifies your customers. What does it mean, pre-qualify? So, for example, I'm going to give you my example. So when people book a clarity call, they very likely have gone through my website, and my website has told them what kind of services I offer. My website told them how much is it. My website told them the process of working with me, what it's like, what to expect. Yeah, I've cleared a lot of expectations on my website, and I've got some FAQ. So when people come to talk to me, what happens? We go deep, we chat, I get to know them. Yeah, because they're already pre-qualified. And they can make the decision whether they want to work with me in that clarity call. I don't have to sell, because if they are pre-qualified, they're just coming to check me out. They're just coming to see, do I like her? Is she the right person for me? Yeah. So when the website pre-qualifies correctly, is aligned with you, is aligned with the person they're going to meet when they come to the clarity call, when they come to the session, then this happens really easily. You're not buying, you're not selling, they're just buying. That's a very big distinction. And it guides customers to your sales funnel. So if you have things that you sell, if you have products in a shop, if you have things that they don't require interaction with you, there is usually a sales funnel of sorts. Basically, they are steps. Sometimes they're very simple. 1, 2, 3, purchase. And sometimes is listen to this webinar, listen to this, join my mailing list, or in different order, and then maybe perhaps purchase. Yeah, some funnels are more complicated and some funnels are simpler. Is this making sense so far? Excellent. Now, this is a really important topic, and it's the last bit of the presentation. The interplay of being a practitioner and a business owner. So a lot of us, we love what we do. I love designing, right? I love creating, talking to customers, being strategic. And sometimes I don't like being a business owner. Yeah, it happens to everybody probably, especially if you are a small business. But this interplay is something that we need to be very aware of. Because as a business owner, you are running the website, and as a practitioner, you are presenting yourself on the website. They are kind of the same, but they're not. So it's important to understand the distinction. So on your website, like I was saying, you are both the practitioner and the business owner. You are presenting yourself and your services, but also as a business owner, you're holding space for your clients' journeys. So you're guiding them, you're making suggestions, and you're instructing them with prompts. Any questions about this or any comments about this? Just unmute yourself. Okay, good. So these are the 3 energies that are at play as well on a website. And again, when you are running your website, this is an important consideration, is you are the business owner here. Then there's the website, which represents your business in the online space. And then there's the client that comes to the website. Yeah. And you, as a business owner and a practitioner, you're not separate from this thing. You need to activate it. You need to nurture it. You need to tend to the website, because this is you in the online space. This is your business in the online space. So the more engaged and aware you are that your website is you, your website is this business in the online space, then the more the clients are going to feel your energy, are going to be a vibrational match for that thing that you do. Any questions, any comments? We're coming to the final bits of presenting. Don't be shy. Excellent. Okay, so no questions. Wow. I'm just going to share my screen again. So I just thought it would be really nice to offer you, for those that are at the beginning of their journey, for those that are perhaps DIYing and considering a website, and you're not like ready to work with me or with a designer. I have a course which is called Embodying Your Brand, and it's a beautiful course. It's really the essence of my work. It's exactly how I guide clients to really nail the essence of the brand, to understand how to align everything that they do in one unified thing, in one unified core messaging. So Embodying Your Brand, and is the first course that all my clients do when they work on a long process website with me. Plan and Create Your Brand Photo Shoot is the next course they do when they're planning their photo shoot. So this is really important, because when you go to a photo shoot, it's not about looking pretty. Again, it goes back to what we were saying before. I'm going to stop sharing, actually. It goes back to what we were saying before. How can I use my images on my website so that they really show my energy? They really communicate intentionally who I am and how I work. How can I create images intentionally? How can I make them feel, like Kevin was saying, for example, safe, protected? How can I myself communicate this slightly temple-y vibe? Yeah. How can I communicate that I like to work with clients that like to inquire and go deep? Just asking those questions yourself for when you're planning the photos, it helps you create them intentionally. So all of those points, including how to brief a photographer and how to choose a photographer and how to choose the right clothes, are included in that course. And they kind of go hand in hand, because Embodying Your Brand is very much about narrowing and nailing the essence of what you do. Yes, sometimes I offer this and I offer that and I can do that. I can do all sorts of things. I can do graphics on the side of vans. I can do graphics for events. But that's not like the essence of my work. The essence of my work is very different. And finding that essence is about going in again. It's not just here in the head. Yes, I offer websites, but like I said, I offer an experience of working with me. So tuning into that experience is really the key. So in Embodying Your Brand, which is the course I was saying, you can really go through all the meditations, the questionnaires that all my clients do. And at the moment, I left it on 30% off. It was on sale last week, but I thought I'll leave it on 30% off for you guys that are here. All you need to do is enter the coupon sale-now. I'll put it all in the chat. And that's how you get the courses with a lovely discount. So I'm going to put this in the chat, and you probably get it on the email with a replay. That's where you find the courses, and then the coupon code is sale now. It's actually lowercase. There we go. And then, of course, you can work with me one-to-one if you want to hang out with me for a week and then a couple of calls either end. We have 1 week Radiant website. that is a new offering. You actually get me and Kirsty, which is another designer that I work with. And 1 Week Radiant website is a lovely new offering. You can, if you're confident to create all your wording and to create your images, you receive my guidance for that. But we don't just hang out for the 11 weeks that we do when we're doing the starter website design. This is more of an entry point service that helps business owners literally set up themselves in the online space, and then you receive all the tutorials for managing and updating and editing your website. Then there's the starter website design, which is a little bit more, like I said, it's a process, it's a journey we do together, 11 weeks of me, if you want that. And then there is Ascended website design, which is for businesses that are pivoting. So if you have a business that has been running in a certain way, and perhaps you have a website and there's an upgrade, something shifted magnificently, and this thing that you are offering, this thing that, you know, was happening before has moved forward. So those are more complex websites. They've got quite a few arms and legs, and they take anything from 4 months onwards. So those are the things I do and how I work with people. Now, any questions? This very quiet call today. Yes, please.
So I've been, I don't know, somewhere it's come into my, through conversations with people, that nowadays people don't really look to the website, and this is after I've started my website and everything, right? So they're saying, oh, people don't go to websites anymore. It's all about the social media, you know, they'll look on their Facebook page, their Instagram first, and then they'll get all the information they want from there. Nobody looks at websites anymore. But I still do. I mean, I might find them on social media first or through some kind of video, and then I want to click on, I will look for their website and want to click on it. That's just me, but I don't know if I'm a bit old school in my way of thinking, and maybe like the new youngsters, their ways through social media, through the TikTok videos or whatever it is, that
Yes.
gain their information. So I just wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
There are opinions, yeah. So I don't have an opinion about that. I completely understand that some people don't need a website, and I will actually recommend that they don't have a website, especially if they are on a budget. They can use social media as the website. So I'll always recommend that, you know, if you are starting, if you haven't got a huge website, a huge budget, but most of all, if you're not super clear about what you're doing, yeah, your business is kind of forming, evolving. Oh, shall I do this? Maybe, or you're trying things out, definitely use social media as your website. Yeah, so tend to it, look after it, consider the images, nurture, just almost become really aware of curating and caring for your social media. So if that's the case, and people come to me and I'm like, look, it's not worth investing yet. Yeah. But the social media you don't own. So
No, that's the problem, because Facebook will hide loads of things.
when Facebook or a social media goes
Yeah.
down, they change, you know, the tactics. You know, we don't have much power. But most of all, for me personally, for my nervous system, for my way of being, I don't like social media an awful lot to be, you know, looking for things there. You know, it's not that I don't go on social media. It's not that I don't have an online social media presence. I do. But I've found a way to be on social media that suits me, that is not too electrifying.
Yeah.
And clients that tend to come to me, again, this is the vibrational match, don't live on social media.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. I'm a reluctant poster, or I don't do a lot on social media, but where I've had my Facebook business page for the last few years, and like you said, it's out of my control because it's not owned by me. So where they make changes, things that I've put on there about my services or testimonials, it gets changed, it gets moved around, or it gets taken off. I don't have that control. So that's why I've decided to have a website in place that I can own the information. It's up to
Yes.
me how it's presented and where it's located and that kind of thing. So yeah, I do prefer having a website. So
But also it feels calmer in a way,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, because you're in control of it. It's your information.
Yes. And
So
also on the website is more of an immersive experience for the people that come to your website. They're not being distracted by anything else, sidebars, other friend requests or likes or anything, things that are moving, The website creates an immersive experience. They are already in the hallway. Yeah. If we go back to the analogy of the clinic, when they come to your clinic or when they come to your home, even if they're friends, they are already knocking on your door. They are already in the hallway. They are already in your container. And it's a very different experience.
yeah, so the website can work in the days of it being quite heavily social media orientated. The website can still
Yes, absolutely.
have its purpose there. Yeah, great.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. And some companies, they need websites because they can't sell what they do online, on social media. Sorry. So for example, one of my clients has an enormous amount of courses, well, two of my clients. They can't sell that on social media. They need people to enroll on the website, fill in forms. They need all the sequences that happen. They fill in the form, they pay, then they receive the notifications, emails for when the course starts, all the instructions, the reminders. All of that happens on the website. It doesn't happen on social media. Yeah. And equally, I know high-level coaches that they work on Messenger and Facebook groups.
Mhm.
But for me, that is not for me. That's just my personal choice. What I use social media for, if that's of interest, is I use it to put information about what I do, share some bits of my personal life, and make connections, but very light. Sometimes I have conversations on Messenger, but it's mostly, I don't chase people. I don't go to groups and talk to people. I don't do any of that. I just I'm open on social media to allow people to come into my world. Yeah. And I'm leaning back as I'm doing this. Yeah. So, it took me a long time to feel into how I want to interact on social media. And then again, it's just finding your way. Yeah, I post every week. I look after it. I curate, not the personal bits, but I curate the business things. Some people come through Facebook or Instagram. And someone once told me, a coach told me, and I really enjoyed it. She said, I see it as my art. Social media is kind of art creativity for her. So I thought, oh, I can do that. So again, it just, this is what suits you, what suits your business, and what stage you are at your business.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any more? Yes.
Hi, apologies everybody for being late. My question, you may have covered it already, so again, apologies. Do you recommend a specific website type? For example, I've got a contract with GoDaddy at the moment, or do you use a particular system, or you're very happy to work with whatever we already have, but you would prefer or you recommend?
Oh, okay. So do you have the domain name with GoDaddy and the website with GoDaddy, everything in one
Yeah,
platform?
although, yeah, the domain name is not a .godaddy domain name, it is a .com or .co, but yeah, I bought it all through GoDaddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not against any of those things. I am not familiar with the GoDaddy website side. I know there are an excellent domain name provider. I suppose this is what happened over the years. You know, GoDaddy was only domain names, but then they kind of expand into offering other things because it just makes it all very simple. I work with Squarespace for websites that are simple and yet they need a powerful platform, you know, websites that are not complex, like I was saying, arms and legs before. And then I work with WordPress, which is a very traditional, but, you know, it's like a massive engine for more complex websites. Yeah, websites that have lots of sections, lots of forms, lots of, you know, there's a lot happening. It's like having a big engine, a big car, instead of a little car that takes you from A to B locally kind of thing. I don't work with Wix and I don't work with GoDaddy, but it doesn't mean they are good or bad. I just had to limit the amount of platforms I work with. And I've worked with both for many, many years. So I know them really well. And I know also the service they provide to my clients afterwards, that, you know, they can rely on those two. You're welcome. Any more? Please just unmute yourself. Good. Okay. So if you'd like to talk to me, you can always go to my website. Hopefully it will direct you to all the right things that I've been preaching about. And book a clarity call if you are kind of ready to move forward, or you can go and buy one of the courses, Embodying Your Brand, which is my signature process, and plan and create your brand photo shoot. I am super grateful that you've been here in person and you've been listening to all of these. I hope it was useful, and I look forward to perhaps meeting you again at some other live class or on social media, perhaps. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.